prepared for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, altcoins, I've been prepared for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, altcoin,
we are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it, and I believe crypto will.
Man, I'm feeling good. I met with so many different people there, down there in Austin at Consensus. I got some alpha. We got some charts. I've missed you guys. Cannot wait to dive into this. In fact, you know what? If I see 15 ones in a row, if I see a bunch of emojis, we will jump in right now. Let's get it. Let's get engaged. Let's share in this data so that we can all ride this bull market together because I'm excited. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to BitLab Academy. My name is Kelly Kellum. Welcome to the show. I'm back from Austin, back from Consensus. I got some alpha for you. I got some charts. Without any further ado, everybody hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell. Let's get into this. I want to share with you what's going on. But before we get into that, let's look at the chart. We've got this massive 1 hour symmetrical triangle here. And if we take this measurement from this zone right here, the widest part of the symmetrical triangle, the target is right here up into $74,803. And what do you know? That actually, if we take this out to, if we really zoom out, we could see that would essentially, this is previous all-time high. We would go beyond the previous all-time high, new highs. And what would that mean for the bullish sentiment in the market? I want everybody to get involved right now. Every single one of you hit the like button. Every single one of you, make sure you look down below this video. If it doesn't say subscribe, you're doing something wrong. Ding the bell because we got a lot of stuff that we got to cover today. We're going to be going through what's going on with Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin dominance a little bit as well. Let me get out to a larger chart. Boom, because we've got some really nice signals coming on in here. Binance Coin, BNB, massive bull flag. We see Solana sitting right here above the, we broke out, but we're sitting right at this little zone. A bit of a bull pennant, but it's getting a little long. We see Cardano still kind of sitting, feeling a little suppressed. Link sitting, I mean, nice move up. Look at this triple bottom here and currently still holding, but we're seeing some really beautiful things in the market. Ondo pushing to new highs. And if we get down here on a little bit smaller time frame, we can see on this little bit smaller time frame that we are pushing up. We got a little bit of a bearishness here with large expansion of momentum, smaller expansion starting to form a little bit of an M formation. There's an opportunity potentially brewing for a lower price. What would that result in? I would look at something, and we're going to get back into this here in a few minutes, but somewhere in this region right here, I think would be a good opportunity. And then, of course, we can see fetch, descending, broadening wedge. We see the same thing in render. Actually, it's not the same thing. We have a descending resistance is what I meant, but we're kind of sitting on this shelf right now. And then, of course, dot looking, basically consolidating down into this region here, coming right into this zone. So we're going to want to watch this level right here that we keep bouncing on. If we could push up and break, then we can see some extreme bullishness coming in to these alts. But I got some other charts I got to share with you. I got some projects I even discovered while I was there at Consensus. Is the mic level low? Mic level low. Is mic level low? R Schwartz ATX says mic level's low. Let me know. It shouldn't be. It shows that it's all the way up on my end and it's peaking into. Turn it up just a little bit. 1 second. Come on. There we go. Is that a little bit better? Let me know if that's a little bit better. Sometimes people say mic's low and they don't realize they haven't turned up their own speaker system. Now, let's go ahead and go through some of the things we want to talk about because it is wonderful what we're seeing right now. We see Bitcoin hovering around this. Let's actually refresh this. 69,000. $69,200 for Bitcoin. We also have Ethereum over here at $37.86. Tether right about $1. That's what we want to see. BNB hovering at that 629. Solana 164. So on and so forth. But look at this. We're sitting right in that 2.5 $2.56 trillion area. Price has still been consolidating, so we cannot be upset about what's happening right now. This is still the calm before the ultimate storm that we're here for, because when we look at what's going on, Kraken shows the largest Bitcoin and Ethereum outflows since 2017. In the short that I released a little bit ago here on the BitLab Academy channel, I talked about the setup for the altcoin market right now that I think is setting up for probably something that's going to contend with what we saw in 2017 with the huge ICO craze and the huge amount of interest and capital that flowed into the altcoin market. We have more people now. We have more people in this market right now than we did in 2017. We have more capital now. Now, I do think, I hope that Bitcoin and Ethereum do not become the institutional asset. I hope that we also see, meaning I don't want the capital only limited to that, but the fact of the matter is we have huge capital flows coming from so many different institutional and corporate areas that is going to be primarily focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but that's also going to buoy, that's also going to incite this bullishness of adoption broadly across the crypto ecosystem. And although every one of you understands this, although every one of you knows this, you know how this works with these markets. The majority of people coming in, even people that are not in yet, when you talk to people, they don't understand that you can buy a fraction. You can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. You could buy $5 worth, $2 worth, and some people see $70,000 Bitcoin. They think it's too expensive. Now, although that kind of sucks, it also means that there's a huge capital opportunity in the altcoin sector because people are going to be unit biased, meaning they're going to say, oh, this coin's only $2.38. I'm going to buy that because it's going to go to the same price as Bitcoin. That's not how this works. However, it does work in our favor if we are buying, holding, even trading the volatility that's going to be impacted by that capital flow coming in. But when we're looking at this, largest Bitcoin and Ethereum outflow since 2017, Kraken's Bitcoin reserves have dropped to the same level as in 2018, now holding 122,000 Bitcoin. For Ethereum, this is the first time Kraken's reserves have fallen below 1 million units, a level not seen since early 2016. This is bullishness. This is the type of thing we want to see. This is the type of thing that when everybody's wondering, we're consolidating, is it going to go up? Well, we're seeing supply shock. We also saw a reduction in new supply with the halving. We're also in an election cycle year. We have so much more that we're going to be going over. Everybody that just flowed in, how you doing? Welcome to the BitLab Academy stream. We're going to be covering a bit of TA, breaking down what we're seeing and the levels we're watching on Bitcoin and Ethereum and BNB, Cardano, Link. I'm going to try and go through as many of these as possible. Also, Ondo breaking to new highs. What does this mean? Is there a pullback brewing? In addition to that, I got a couple new RWA plays that we're going to be covering, one of them with a very small market cap. So let's look at this. Only channel subscribers, 5 minutes longer can send back. Yeah, subscriber only mode. Let me see. Am I not logged in? Verify it's you. Let me verify it is me. Oh, you know what? Hold on. When I travel, it forces me to log back in sometimes to prove that it is me. There we go. All right, we're all good. Now let's continue on and looking what we want to look at. I got some really bullish stuff. So we're seeing the supply shock. We're seeing demand from all this new institutional interest and the data. Remember, everybody, we all get so focused on price. It's high, it's low. Screw the price. The price doesn't matter. Look at the data. And right now, that's what institutions are doing. They're seeing records set with the Bitcoin spot ETF, okay? Records set. And so what institutions see is, man, there's a lot of appetite here. And when you start looking at the historical data and mapping it out on the assets that you're looking to potentially trade or invest in, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all your alts, so on and so forth. The historical data, now that this is on their radar, they're like, oh, damn, this has so much room to grow. And this just sparks that flood, those dominoes falling. So if you're not bullish right now, I don't know what'll make you bullish. So let's go ahead and go through some of the bullish stories. And then we're going to talk about that TA and some of the stuff going on. I do want to shout out, we do have a $100 giveaway, but we will be drawing on Friday. This is for Galactix. This post right here, it is in the pinned comment in the top of the live chat there. I'll post it again right here. This is the link. Just kind of put retweet. If you retweet, you're entered to win $100 USDT, and I will be drawing last week's $100 USDT giveaway at the end of this show. So go ahead and get in on that. I want you guys to be able to participate in this. And on another note, Galactix did just go live today. You can check that out on the link on that tweet. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what's happening here. This is a further indication, that data point we were talking about of available supply. Since the SEC Gov approved the Ethereum ETFs, approximately it's almost like a lucky number 777,000 ETH, valued at about $3 billion, aka $3 billion worth of ETH has been withdrawn from crypto exchanges. This is what I want to see when I'm wondering if there's stability or potential stability in the near future in price. This is incredibly bullish. Now everybody's wondering about these ETFs. This is that data point I was talking about. This is a very simplified data point, which visually you can see. This is the appetite from January to now. Look at this. IBIT, which is BlackRock, 274,000. Bitcoin. This is, it's, middle of May, all the way into 280, almost 300,000 Bitcoin since January. That is only one of the Bitcoin spot ETFs. We also have Fidelity and ARK Invest and Bitwise and etc., so on and so forth. This is incredible. Now, we're asking which direction is the trend, because we've seen some dips and excitement and dips. We're tying this all into the TA we're gonna have here in a second. I got some gems I'm gonna share with you at the end. So everybody, make sure you hit that like button and join us here. We're about to hit 50,000 subscribers in just over a year here on BitLab. So shout out to all of you. 14 consecutive trading days of inflow for Bitcoin ETFs. 3 days off the record of 17 days straight inflows. Current streak, 14 days. We've done about $2.2 billion of inflows. And this is between this range. There's been $2 billion worth of the Bitcoin spot ETF bought while we have been consolidating in this range from 63 to 69. This is when we went 63 up to 74 and back down. And then over the last 14 days, remember we dropped down to about 58,000. But in the last 14 days, the low is 63. We're sitting here at 69. With $2 billion appetite coming in buying Bitcoin. The record streak was 17 days. That was $4 billion. That was when we went from 40 to 50K. So we are on this right path. We are on the bullish trajectory that we want to see. And in addition to that, yes, here's the halving. Here's the election cycle. And remember, I've shared a lot of data with you all. Every one of you. Throw one in chat if you remembered. If you were on any of the streams that you saw me talking about global liquidity. So many people get myopically, they're like, it's the halving. There's no one thing in any market that truly determines the trend. It is the context of the narrative of risk and also the context of the sentiment based on all things going on in addition to supply and demand. And in this case, we have the global liquidity cycle that has also coincided with the halving. But look at this. This is also the election cycle years. And look at how they relate to where the halving is in relationship to where the parabola is. Pretty darn close. So all things are lining up. And what kind of things are there? I hate to do this to you, but we got to reinforce the data that's behind what's going on so we don't get lost in our emotions. So what do we see? Most bullish Bitcoin setup of all time. Okay, Bitcoin ETFs, the most successful ETF to ever launch. I think it's 170 days or something like that versus 3 years to get for an ETF to get to 20 billion. Previous record being around a little over, I think, or right at about 3 years to get to the $20 billion mark. And Bitcoin spot ETFs did it in under 200 days. This is the appetite I'm talking about that's really spurring and creating massive impact with the perception of Wall Street and institutions and pension funds and assets under management on corporate treasuries. The dominoes have only begun starting to fall. And yet we're sitting here with the base that we've created at $70,000 regionally in this area. This is what we want to see when we're thinking about what direction an asset can go. Now, BlackRock quietly sprinkling Bitcoin into conservative bond funds, post-halving upward price impact has yet to kick in. Remember, I talked about that 60 to 150, 60 to 180 day sideways kind of chop that we've seen between all previous halvings. where we're at now, and people wonder why the halving happened. Why hadn't it gone up? Let's look at the data. It told us, and I've shared it with you, that we are going to be going a little bit sideways before we go up. Wisconsin State Pension Fund allocating earlier than expected. Others will soon follow. Global desire to transition away from U.S. sovereign debt. This is very bullish for Bitcoin. China selling U.S. Treasuries, stacking hard money, gold, but Bitcoin is now harder money than gold. Great. Central banks just starting rate cuts. Still very few investors properly articulating the Bitcoin bull case or demonstrating deep understanding of Bitcoin. Still not a consistent investment. We have not even hit that. We've not even hit that threshold that's really starting the mass adoption. We're only getting the ball rolling right now. The ball is getting polished. It's going into the bowler's hands. And when it gets released, the mass adoption is going to come quicker than you can imagine. So it is imperative that you know what's going on. Good morning, Simps, said Boosted 2Js. Shout out to Boosted. Shout out to Alexander G, Sawtooth Hiker, Dave Digital, who I saw, we met up at Consensus. Also, Crimson Caravan Company, saw him. Crypto Billy as well, among quite a few other people. Red Elephant, how you doing? Teo Rodriguez, Nicole, Mini Tater, minus Tater, something like that. Big love to everybody here. Let's continue on here. 1 out of 195 countries have fully embraced Bitcoin as a reserve asset. Now, this might not feel bullish. This is showing we're still early. If you feel like you missed the boat, then you have not looked retroactively, historically on these charts, because there's so much coming to this market. And there's even more on here if you continue down this list that just outlines further, more and more bullishness. Now, let's talk about it. I shared this over the weekend. Bitcoin went from $10,000 to $69,000 last time this happened. Are you paying attention? Say, when this happened, which is realized cap for new whales, meaning new whales coming in, you're having a flood of new large buying. This is a COVID crash right here. This is the market fell out from 6 to like 3,100 up to 14,000. Then we came down. We had the COVID crash, global economic shutdown, rebound. But then you can see this stacking in the bear market, stacking up. This is where whales and smart money buys. When everybody thinks it's over, when the volume is low and there's blood in this, everybody's like, oh, it's so, because they don't understand the data versus the price. And steady, and look at this massive increase right here. And this is going into the previous all-time high. This is exactly what we're seeing here. Now, this doesn't just account, just so you know, this metric doesn't just account for whales buying. This is a realized cap for whales. So this will account for how much the value of all the whales holdings are. And this does stack into this. But then on other on-chain metrics, and I've shared it with you before, once you break the previous all-time high, the strength of the bull market is also where smart money starts to take profits exponentially, increasingly, I should say, once you start getting above this level. So everybody likes to stack up into this level, previous all-time high, which is, what do we see? Previous all-time high, stacking actually even faster rate than we saw here. Why would that be? Because we got a Bitcoin spot ETF approval. This is conceptually, we've been talking about it a lot, but conceptually, people do not realize the impact of what this has in the permission psychological state that this gives the world. It allows corporations, institutions, mom and pops that are not actively in crypto to get exposure to crypto through traditional channels, through regulated traditional markets. And when you buy the Bitcoin spot ETF, they're required to then buy, that represented amount in Bitcoin within 24 hours. So that's why when we're seeing these billions of dollars of Bitcoin spot ETF buys, and the 1,000+ now corporations that have stacked into the Bitcoin spot ETF since Q1, it is only just getting started. And then we see Bitcoin growing faster than the internet. And we're worried about price right now. If this is growing, the adoption is growing, that means more use case, that means more holding, that means less supply, that means more demand. What does that mean for price? That means I'm stacking, baby. I am not worried about any dip that happens right now. In fact, if you understand this, then you can utilize the awareness of this data that if we do get a dip, say something happens with China and Taiwan, say something happens bad with Russia and Ukraine, say it doesn't matter what the thing is. If something happens that impacts global markets and there's a big dip, looking at all the data we have now, rather than being like, damn, why did you can say, oh, I've been preparing and waiting for an opportunity to take advantage of something like this, like we saw right here, this very quick global impact, very quick rebound. People that were prepared took advantage of this. Prices of about $4,500. Wouldn't you want that opportunity now? Even if that meant, I'm not saying it's going to happen, even if that meant we had a dip down to 38,000, rather than be frustrated, we got the data that says, oh, I can be confident in taking advantage of this opportunity. Now, as we're sitting right now, things are very bullish. We're about to get into some charts here in a moment, but I want to talk a little bit about altcoins. If you think that altcoins have already seen most of their gains, then you're wrong. This is the previous cycles, back here 2015 into 2018, and you see this, basically rounding bottom, accumulation, breakout, and then a falling wedge. Basically consolidation into a bullish pattern that tends to break bullish. Now, what do we get? Large accumulation, breakout, actually quite a bit smaller breakout here. It's going to be subjective, but then we have the consolidation into a bullish pattern, which is a falling wedge. Next step. What do you want the next step to be? I know how I'm positioning myself. And then we can see this on another chart here, also from Mustache. Are we about to see major move for altcoins? This is it on a smaller, basically looking at it a little bit more zoomed in, but we can see here, basically this is a falling, descending resistance level. Find support, breakout, little consolidation, and then we have another descending, breakout. Now we have another descending. Is that next breakout about to come? Because we did lose this trend line here. So we need to make sure that we stay prepared. And by the way, I did stop by the Arculus booth while I was at Consensus. What a great team they have. The most secure crypto wallet out there. I absolutely love it. I recommend this. It's my favorite crypto wallet to have. Make sure you head over to getarculus.com. Put in the code LAB, LAB10, LAB10 for 10% off. Make sure you are protecting your crypto on a cold storage device. Three different types of, basically, you have the biometric, your face, you have the PIN, you have the seed phrase for the wallet, you also have the card that you tap. Doesn't matter if you lose a card, because the money isn't on the card. The crypto is not on the card. The card is just an access key for it. If you lose that key, you can basically upload or import a wallet and basically utilize a new card. And remember, if somebody has your card, they don't have your biometrics, they don't have your PIN, they don't have your seed phrase. So it's the most secure wallet out there, I think. I definitely recommend it. But let's look at it. Before we get into the TA, let's look at a couple key data points beyond what we're seeing around Twitter. By the way, I want you all to know, I go through these Twitter stories and I share charts and stuff that other people share because I have a great deal of data. But I also go through the Twitter charts because I want you all to see that there are people you can follow. There are places you can go to get free alpha in addition to watching here at BitLab Academy. I love you being here, but you don't need to watch every stream, or maybe you're traveling, maybe you're just, scrolling Twitter. You can basically get exposed to all kinds of different data because I have access to all this, but I like to highlight different people in the space and make sure that you guys can see that there's plenty of sources for data out there. You should not watch only one person. You need to make sure that you get a variety of data from a variety of different people. Now, looking at this is the number one metric I love to understand if we're going bullish or bearish, the power behind that bullish or bearish move. And it's so simple: capital flow, money flowing into an asset or being pulled out of the asset. Now, this is specifically Bitcoin. And we can see, we talked about that consolidation that we had. Everybody called it a crash, a dip. It was just rise, retrace, continuation. It was part of a bullish trend. And on that move, we saw the capital flow come back and test this level and now start to explode back higher. Similar to we see all along the way in 2017, all the way up. This doesn't look big now, but in the middle of this were 140% pumps and 50% pullbacks and another 100% pump and a 40% pullback. we have been graced with the most luxurious bull market we have had yet. And part of the reason is you can thank some, whether or not you like it. This is largely due to the huge amount of capital that's in the space now and the appetite for institutions getting exposure to those ETFs, as well as the speculative awareness from all the retail out there seeing the likely appetite and also not being as willing to sell. And we have not even gotten we have not even gotten the new flood of retail in yet, but we can see all the way up on those big swings we talked about. Capital flow up, comes back, retests the line. Capital flow up, comes back, retests the line. Capital flow up, comes back, retests all the way up. So this, what we're seeing is ultimately as healthy as we want it to be. Now here we go with the liquidation heat maps. Tapped got sucked all the way up here in here, these hot zones, there was a lot of potential liquidations up in these zones, and we kind of cleared it out. Now the market is moving the opposite direction. What do we talk about here? Joshua Jake put us all onto this. The windshield wiper method with this flushing to the upside. This line right here is where price is. Flushes to the upside and clears out liquidity. It's free liquidity sitting in the market because somebody's bold enough to say, I'm going to go and put a 20 or 30x, 100x leverage position short. That's what this is. These are short liquidations, forced closures. So if price action gets pushed up into here, those shorts are forced to buy, or they're forced to get liquidated, which is a forced buy. So this goes up, steals some of that liquidity, and then comes back down. As it sits right now, it's a little indeterminable about what direction it's going to go because of the appetite in the market right now. This is not a very huge volume delta at the moment. It's, let's see, was that on max liquidity? Let's go to max liquidity. There we go, apply. Now, close that. So let's see what level we're at right now. We're sitting at about 5 billion. Positive delta, okay? Now, this did push all the way up into here, and this used to be a lot brighter here until this came up and flushed this out. But as it stands right now, we're kind of sitting in an interesting zone with a lot of, not much liquidations directly below us, but we do start having a bit more down here at this level, which is basically about, this is about the 68,000, a little bit below 68, into the high 67,000s in the zone. But as it stands, let's look to the TA and see what the TA says about what's going on right now. Now, everybody in the room right now, I just want to shout out, thank you for being here. A shout out again to our channel partners, Arculus, and also to our channel partners, where's it at? To Galactix, you know what I mean? Family, in the family is what I meant to say, because they're the ones that help make sure that we can do this and not take a hell of a lot of other sponsorships, because I want to be crypto content focused, and I want to be talking with all of you. Did any of you guys capitulate during that consolidation? It's okay if you did, learn from it. Did any of you, have you been stacking in, or have you been sitting on your hands? Throw a 1 in chat if you've just been sitting on your hands. Throw a 2 in chat if you have been steadily stacking in. Throw a 3 in chat if you got washed out on any positions. We take all these and learn. I don't mean just taking a losing trade. I mean like you took a significant loss in your portfolio because you made a bad error. Because this is what we're here for. I took a $70,000 loss early on, and it was only when I had about $80,000 total because I was an idiot. This was many years ago. But I want you all to not step into those same pitfalls I did. I want you all to grow and succeed and win in this market. That's what this is about. So let's go up here. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's look at this sort of this symmetrical triangle we have here. Some people will say it's a bull flag. It's not a bull flag. This is our bull pennant. This is far too big. This essentially is a symmetrical triangle. We have this inverted head and shoulders. By the way, shout out again also to Matthew Hyland and Kevin Svensson. We are hanging out all week at Consensus. I've shared a lot of Matthew Hyland's posts on here. He has great charts. It's this individual right here. We were hanging out all weekend, but he outlined, and then Kevin Svensson as well. A special shout out to him. Make sure you go and follow these guys, Matthew Hyland _ and Kevin Svensson _. This is actually on the dock of the bay there that we were all talking. But Matthew Hyland also identified that there's also a potential larger inverted head and shoulders, which would be a great further bullish signal about potential upside. We have this inverted head and shoulders here, right? And then we also have this shoulder here. We have this head here and a potential kind of shoulder going on right here that's in the midst of breaking out of this bullish pattern that is within that shoulder. And what we can see here, and I outlined this at the beginning, the target on this would be up here at $74,800. Now, if you look, that is above the previous all-time high that we set back in mid-March. Does this mean it's going to break out and go straight there? No, it never works like that. We've got some levels we need to watch. Primarily, you look at the previous range tops, that level, this level right here. So these are the kind of levels that I'm watching as this pushes up. And you can see this already had the bullish impulse up into this zone and is sucking back here. But this is on the 4 hour. Let's get down to the 1 hour. And you can see we're seeing some magic happen potentially. And what is that magic? That magic is, look at this. The kind of break up here, rejection. And then we got the impulse to actually break through, consolidate a little bit. Yes, the bulls wanted to push higher. Bulls push higher, and look at the volume. This is something everybody forgets to talk about. Volume flat here, interest coming in. And on this interest, we're having it being dominated by price moving up. Now, this is bullish. Now, currently, we're in a precarious situation in the very short time frame, and that is the fact that we did break out, and we did, look at this, rejection at the trend line, support of the trend line. So we flipped this previous resistance to support, price action, then moved higher, came back and tested it again. And so what we're going to want to watch right here, as a bull, if your intention is to trade bullishly, we want to see this break past this $70,000 to $70,000 range, which is this zone right here. Why is this? We talk about this all the time. When you have price action break out past a trend line, you want it to test here. And on the way back up, you're looking for the break of this little reversal point right here of if the bulls have the full intention to push this higher. And this is what we're currently seeing the setup for, because we tested it once very briefly, tested it twice. Bulls ate this up very quickly. So if we can really get beyond this, things are going to start looking very bullish. So what does the data say on the indicators, the BitLab trading stack? Let's go ahead and pull these up. Let's look at the weekly VWAP. Let's look at the volume and look at this. Rejection at the weekly VWAP, this yellow line. Attempt, rejected back down. Comes down, finds support on the trend signal line. And here, support again all the way across, and the candle structure that suggested a reversal. Why? Bears brought it down, bulls brought it right back up. Now we have a spinning top. Now we have the bulls' intention. Bears kind of bring it back, but it cannot go below this. So this right here was a signal that it was trying to move higher. And then on this zone right here, the weekly VWAP had dropped. This launches above it, and now we're playing a positive spread. So now we're up, high volume. This is what this teal candle means. It means there's a lot of buying pressure onto this as this moves up. And then we get stopping volume. And on this, the reason why you can understand this even without the indicator is because this is very high volume. And then we also had a lot of volume on this candle, and it went both up all the way down and then back up into the zone. So there's a sort of uncertain zone right here. This does not mean this move is stopped. It means we got to shake out some uncertainty in the moment. And this is kind of what we're seeing. If this can start to push up and break beyond these candles, then this is really what we're going to want to pay attention to. If this does get rejected here, we have this candle just started. So this looks bearish in the first glance, but you see this candle's only 3 minutes old. So let's pay attention to what happens in this zone, because we'd like to see this push up. Because when we're looking at this on a larger scale, let's actually go over to this chart right here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so we had this falling wedge. We had this falling wedge pattern, inverted head and shoulders under the trend signal line, fighting with the weekly VWAP until right here. This is that same move on this chart. It breaks above, and now we're sort of tangling, finding support on the weekly VWAP, tangling with it, lose it for a second, and now they're trying to keep this positive spread alive right here. But look at these calls. I mean, before the move down, look at this reversal, before the move up, as this was signaling right here, the setup for the likely bounce. Reversal up. We're getting some great signals here on the BitLab trading stack. And by the way, everybody, we got, last week, of course, I was traveling for Consensus, But we got some really great stuff going on in the Discord. I actually shared a little bit of an update to my portfolio in here. We got some new RWAs. We're going to be talking about some other things that I saw at Consensus. But not only that, remember in the BitLab Discord, that our premium community, we've got scalp setups. We've got, chart requests if you want to see a specific chart drawn up. John Dalton is an absolute OG professional trader who we're lucky to have in our community. Also, Corduroy sharing stuff in here, breaking down what's going also on in the stock market and different trade setups there. We've got so much going on in the BitLab Discord. I just want to shout that out. It's the best way you can help support the channel and support your education to master this market. Head over to lab.bitlabacademy.com. We still have I kept the halving special up because I want to keep you guys in the know. You can get 15 days free, and then it's a 33% discount for life after that. That's the link. I just posted it in the live chat, lab.bitlabacademy.com/Kelly. Sign up there. As soon as you sign up, you'll get an email. It gives you, check your spam folder in inbox. It shows you how to connect your Discord automatically. It automatically does it for you. And then right when you sign up, it takes you to the next page with our indicators and all the actual courses we have. It's basically the upgrade from this right after you join the Discord. That's how you do it, and that's how you get access to these top tier indicators that I'm always using here. But this is looking good. This is pushing up. We got the trend shift. It came down, tested this trend signal line, and starting to push up again. So even if this were to dip, I'm watching in this zone right here, 64 kind of as the lowest. But remember, this is a daily chart. I'm actually looking, if this were to come down, looking for a great opportunity at 66 if it does fall. But again, I'm leaning very much more bullish as it stands right now. But this head and shoulders, it tried to do the breakdown, and the bull said, nope, and it's starting to push its way back up. But what are we seeing with the dominance? Why do we care about the dominance? Because this signals to us when the market is getting ready to send the alts. So this is that trend line that we're talking about that we've had on here for quite some time. It's actually, I don't know why this always zooms in. Looking at this on the macro, let's turn off the indicators. We have this descending level of resistance. When this falls is when alts send. And now this pushes back up. We're looking for the next time this move gets initiated. Now look at this rising support level. This has lost it, rejected. So now we're sitting under it. And in addition to all this, the, what do you call it? The Bitcoin dominance is rounding. What do we get when we see rounding moves like this? And on top of that, we have this M pattern right in here. If this starts to lose this level, I'm looking for an opportunity for this to push down in my alts and your alts and our alts to have that alt season and rip to the upside. So this is just a preparatory data point that you're seeing. If you're frustrated with alts, we're right in the zone. It could be a week, could be a month. But do not get shaken out on account of impatience, okay? So let's just pay attention to what's going on here. Now, Ethereum, look at this. Nice, beautiful bull flag. Golly, this is looking good. This is on the weekly, pushing up, have this falling sort of bull pennant, bull flag, however you want to measure that. If we were to really measure this and go right here, option T, cut to the bottom to the top. I mean, this is just telling us, let's go conservative first, 7,000. Let's go from the breakout point there up to 8,000. That's just from this pattern, not the market cycle top. But the point here is, even if you don't take into account the flag, we have this falling channel, falling wedge, something of the sort. These tend to break bullish. We have. And we can see this rounding, just like we talked about on the inverse with the bull indication that it was going down. This rounding is an indication for bulls to break to the upside. Look at this perfect resistance and then launch. Now, why was that? The sudden ETH ETF approval. Now, it's anybody's guess as to when those are actually going to launch. But now we're seeing, even some more bullishness here. But I do want to indicate, as bullish as we are on what's going on with ETH, this is a little worrisome because it was so quick. So on this note, that's why I have these targets marked to the downside here. for potential, test down. I don't think we'll get a full, but unless something catastrophic happens in markets, I don't think we're going to get a full Bart Simpson pattern back down to this equilibrium point. But I do think that we do have an opportunity to kind of tap in there like a spring to launch. But this doesn't have to happen. The fact that we did break a little bit below this, we can actually just delete this now since we did fall below it. And now we can just essentially draw this like here. And we got a little bit of a pattern there too. I would call this more of a symmetrical. It is a bull flag, but if we were to measure this, let's go here. Boom. What's the target on that? $4,800. So things are looking bullish, but don't get trapped by your bullish sentiment and go super X long because everything looks bullish. Because when there's so many bullish signs, there's a huge opportunity for market makers and smart money to take advantage of your bias and whipsaw the other direction, get you to sell or get you liquidated, and then the price launches back in the other direction. That's nice. Sawtooth Tiger says, I had to deliver a fresh cup of tea for the nice person doing my chores. So we should all be nicer. We should all be more grateful and positively impactful to those in our life, right? And even strangers. Somebody's being a dick or somebody's, not being very nice. Ask yourself, man, something's going on in their life. Maybe I'm not going to take it personally. Because we take things personally and then we become part of the issue versus letting them burn out their own negative energies. Shout out to everybody that is in the room. Quarter crawler. I want to see some emojis. All you BitLab members, drop those emojis. What are you feeling right now? Are you rocket ship, cat astronaut? Are you feeling like a crazy chicken? Is it are you stacking right now before the launch? Alexander G says Kelly plus 1 million. Let's go ahead and go through some of these other things. Binance coin, BNB. I was talking with some people about this at Consensus. One of those coins I don't really hear anybody ever talking about, yet it's massive. I mean, remember, looking over here, coin market cap, it's the 4th coin. I think we need to pay a little bit more attention to it. But when we zoom out on this coin, let's look at this. Have you all noticed this? Massive macro bull flag here. Massive. We can do it from this point right here. I mean, draw this out. You take the measurement of the flagpole to the pattern and the breakout point. This would show, let's put a box up there. Keep ourselves accountable for what we're looking at. This would show a target of up here about $1,200. That's 100% gain from where it's at now. And it currently is breaking out. In fact, not only is it breaking out, I'm just noticing this right now. Not only is it breaking out, we had a bit of an inverted head and shoulders right here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. And this is the sort of barrier to that upward action as it sits right now. These red bars, I didn't draw these. For anybody that's new on this channel, this is part of that BitLab trading stack. We have the BitLab volume. We have the BitLab intelligence, which gives you these key moving averages as well as bullish signals. And when you have bullish divergences and bearish divergences, then of course also the BitLab trend fuel, which shows the moving averages and the underlying strength data and etc. 4 out of the 6 signals right now are setting up in a bullish posture. We have momentum ticking up. We have buying pressure, which is why these went from white to green. There's a lot of buying, more than the average over this period. There's more buying coming in. And we're seeing a little bit of choppiness here, which makes sense. This is a money flow, positive, negative, because we're coming into the apex of this pattern. But this is now flipped, technically bullish. It just hasn't been a lot of flow, which is why it's gray. And see, it's kind of struggling at the moment. But we're on the 12-hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. So there you go. Had positive money flow. Positive money flow started ticking in right here. And this is what got us over that hill. But then again, I want to just shout out this red bars. When you see them on the chart, this is where these are order blocks where there's been a huge amount of liquidity dropped into the order book. Orders or sells, could be buys or sells from large wallets and large groups at particular price points, showing that there's interest at that price level and it can be both support and resistance. This is why we have these as red and these as green. So on the 12-hour chart, we have support down here, the 525 range, and we're ticking right into resistance right now, almost at this, I think it's near previous all-time high. Am I right? Yeah, we're kind of near this previous all-time high right here. But things are setting up beautifully. Beautifully for BNB. Solana. Let's go down to the 4-hour, 2-hour, 4-hour. Okay, why does this do that sometimes? Some of these software glitches really bug you out. So we have a bit of a trend line right here. It's a kind of little wonky. Let's do it right here. Great. Now we can come here. This is a little concerning because it does look a little bit like a descending triangle. I mean, descending level of resistance with a flat level of support. Semi-flat. It's a little wonky. Okay, that actually makes me a little bit more happy. But see these bearish divergences? Down. Bearish divergence? Down. And we're coming into the decision point, but the momentum is flipped, starting to go bullish here. This is on the 4-hour chart. Money flow is still a little negative. Remember what we just saw with BNB? We're coming into the apex. Watch for a washout in either direction, meaning if this washes out, commits you short and then launches, and vice versa. If this pushes up, it likely will come back and test somewhere in this region before it fully continues. So things are looking bullish. We're getting bullish setups. We've broken out of this trend. So, you know, there's a lot going on in this market right now, and there's going to be as much work done as possible by market makers and smart money to shake you out of your positions. Do not get shaken out. Cardano still looking rather flat. Let's go at a little bit larger time frame. Rather flat here. I'd be very concerned if the price action, let's draw a box. What's in the box? There we go. I'd be concerned if we lost the 43, 42 cent zone. But again, this could be, I mean, look at this. Got a dip. We got a little bit deeper dip. Got a little bit higher low. If this maintains a little bit higher low, this may be that rounding that starts that move to the upside. But I'm not seeing a lot of signs of life here other than the fact that the money flow has gone down like this, and it looks like it's trying to peak back up. So let's pay attention to this on Cardano. Link, triple bottom as we talked about, but then also push up into a kind of an interesting pattern here. If we can keep this level where we're at right now and trade sideways and then up, that would be wonderful. If this loses, then this would be a great buying opportunity right in this zone, right in this zone right here. Basically the 17, low 17s would be awesome if this dipped down into here and then moved up. Alternatively, consolidating into this, pushing up and actually breaking out of this. As it stands right now, the money flow is a positive, but we are seeing some sort of compression on the movement here, as we can see this sort of trend line that's trending right here with the stochastics. Rejection, 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 rejection. But now we got a little bit lower of a rejection, and the momentum is trending down right here. There may be that move for that washout to the downside. And we'd see 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6 of the signals. Quick look, dashboard here on the BitLab trading stack tells you 4 of the 6 are showing a little bit bearish. So we may get a little washout down here to 1750. If we lose that, down here into the low 17s. Avalanche. Also, look at that. It's very similar to what we saw on Chainlink. We're getting a little bit of a reversal signal right now on the 8-hour. Beautiful. What does it show on the 4-hour? We have higher low. Great. Bullish divergence on the momentum. Awesome. We have 4 bullish divergences, 2 more bullish divergences, 4 more bullish divergences. This is looking like it's trying to bleed your patience before a move to the upside. If this comes down, I'm looking for a bounce above $31. If this can break through this level, then we can start talking about this moving to the upside. We talked about render dot. By the way, everybody, shout out to, let's go over here. Let's go to boom. BitLab Academy. If you guys did not watch it yet, shout out to Polkadot, also channel partners here. I've loved all the research I've been able to do on them. You know, they are channel partners, so it did incentivize me to look into it. But then I looked into it. I was like, this was nothing governed by them. I was like, this is You guys are doing so much. I moved a huge position out of my Cardano all into Polkadot, and I break down a lot of the reasons why in this video right here. Polkadot severely undervalued. This was posted a couple days ago. Make sure you go and watch this video. I break down a lot about the things that are coming to Polkadot, the developments in their ecosystem, and also my basically a broader price structure about where I think things could be going. Also, this video right here, this is about a 12, I think it's like a 10-minute video. Worth the watch with me, Kevin Svensson, Matthew Hyland, getting their perspectives on what we should be paying attention to right now, price levels, the money flow that's coming in, and where this market's going over the course of this summer. I can't believe this only got 355 views. I recorded this on my phone, posted it straight from my phone, no edit, did this on the notepad on my phone and just took a screenshot. That's how that thumbnail looks like that. So go and follow the alpha. Don't just go and follow and watch a video because it's got a pretty thumbnail. That drives me crazy that we as content creators have to make something very beautiful and shocking and shiny when the best alpha is when you go and you look at something like this, where there's a real conversation between some of the top analysts in the space talking about what's going on in this market. So let's get back over to what we're talking about here. Now, there's a couple coins I wanted to put on your radar. I talked about it in the Discord. I'll talk about it with you guys as well. Coming back up here to the Kelly Alpha channel. Where is it at? Kelly Alpha. XDC, real world asset protocol. And they started as a real world asset protocol. That was their entire intention. And they've got a lot of incredible things they're doing. They've already tokenized gold. They're tokenizing real estate, so many different things. And it's not a smart contract platform that's then started adding RWA things because that's the narrative. They literally have been building into this for years. And I'll start doing some charts on this later this week as well. I'm going to be doing them in the BitLab Discord tomorrow. But also Aptos. They broke the record, the previous held record of transactions per day. Smashed it. The previous record was like 30 million. They did like, I can't remember what the total was, like 150 or 170 million. Okay, settled transactions in the day. And they're working on some incredible partnerships. So I put this in there because when I started hearing some of the things that were going on, say, hey guys, keep your eyes on this. Near, of course, I know that they're doing a bunch of huge things coming up. Link and Dot, we talk about those all the time. And then right here, Chintai, I'm going to be looking into this. It is a real world asset protocol that already has licensing and it's being utilized in Singapore as well as some other places. But small market cap relatively when you're thinking about the big dogs in the space, 170 million right here, right? Total supply, 998 million. Max supply, 998 million. So they're already looking pretty good there. And they're not on the major exchanges yet. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this. The markets are feeling good. The community's feeling good. Shout out. Let's go ahead and do $100 USDT giveaway right now. Make sure you go and retweet this post right here. Wait, is this the one? June 3rd, yeah. Retweet this post right here. I got to go back into this right in here. Let's go ahead and log out and log back in. Make sure, by the way, get in our BitLab Academy Discord, get in there, sign up for the courses as well on the secondary page of this. Make sure you head over to lab.bitlabacademy.com/Kelly. I'm giving you guys a chance as I do this. Where's my tweet? The link is pinned in the top of the live chat, lab.bitlabacademy.com/Kelly. You get 15 days free. And then it's a reduced cost for the life of your account. Now let's head over here. Let's go to Comment Picker. Comment Picker. All right, now logging out, logging out, logging in. By the way, in the BitLab Discord, I'm going to be bringing Matthew Hyland and Kevin Svensson in there, I think on a weekly basis to share some alpha. So, I mean, get involved in our community because we have, you know, Joshua Jake sharing his coin picks, some of the stuff he bought the other day. We have we did like 4 member streams, not this last week because I was traveling, but the week before. But we are doing it in there. Where's the last post? Is this it? May 28. Yeah, this is it. All right. Copy link. You know what? I think that's the one I did last time, right? It's the same one I did last time. So we're going to reward all of you guys. If you already retweeted it, you're going to be in the winning circle. Let's go over here, right here. Let's log in. And I'm doing it on the one from today. And I'll be drawing one more winner on Friday. And so Twitter picker, we're there. Now log in. I have to pee so bad. All righty, let's see who won. $100. We're doing, $100 today, $100 Friday. So let's do it. Everybody hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Maxwell, bruh. And shout out to Maxwell. I saw him posting about DOOK. I did make a move. First, I think it might be the first meme coin I ever bought. It's not even a meme coin. It's just launched on OmniSwap, which I'm going to be talking a little bit more about. And it's a coin that I suggested to the guys. I didn't even know they launched it. When Jack Mullers said, oh man, there could be even a coin like Shubaduki. Well, they went ahead and launched it. And they're doing a lot of big integrations with exchanges and airdrops and all kind of things. I wanted to actually bring that up, and I'll get the Maxwell, bruh. We're getting you $100 USDT. I'll contact you about all that. But head over to Dex Screener and type in just DOOK. Type in DOOK, and when you do that, you're going to look for right here. You look for Shubaduki right here. And then if you're wanting to buy this, you can buy ETH on Ethereum. You can buy ETH on Coinbase or wherever you're buying it. If you're on Coinbase, then you can send it from Coinbase to your your Ethereum, send it on the base network. And then when you go to Uniswap or 1inch or wherever you go, you just come down here and you get the DOOK contract right here, put it in, and you can participate in that. I mean, see, I bought it this morning, damn, down here. Had a little bit of a pumpation there, but there's going to be a lot of stuff that they're working on coming to that. I know that there's a lot of different, all kind of different team members from different teams across the space that are going to be participating in some of the integrations with this. So it's all about community for us. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. That's all I got for now. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, get in the Discord. I'll be doing a couple more member streams this week. I love you guys. That's all I got. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. BitLabAcademy.com. Hit that like button, sucker. Head over to lab.bitlabacademy.com/Kelly. Take advantage of that deal. Half month free. And about 35% off membership for the life of your account. Adios, suckers.